Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Gary of the Elysiums. Welcome to part 2 of my top 50 thrash metal albums. Now, if you haven't already, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, like this video, all that stuff. Help support my channel. Even if you share this video, I would greatly appreciate it. It just gives me more motivation to make more videos such as this one. Now, if you haven't watched part 1 of this, which was 50 through 26, I would suggest going back and watching it, because there may be an album that I mentioned already that you're not going to see in this top 25, and you might wonder why I didn't include it. It's probably because it's in that first 50 through 26. Now, remember, this is just my opinion. This is what I pick. It's not set in stone. This isn't, Loudwire or Rolling Stone magazine or anything like this. This is my top 50. And like I said in the first video, I didn't include certain bands that could be considered thrash, but not quite, because they're more of an influence. Bands like Pantera, they're more of a groove metal. Bands like Celtic Frost were definitely an influence, but I don't really consider them full-on thrash. Same thing with bands like Possessed. Someone also mentioned Gwar in the last video. Gwar is not a thrash metal band whatsoever. I mean, their very first album was more of a closer to like, hardcore punk crossover, like more like Misfits stuff, closer to maybe the first Suicidal Tendencies album, but they are not thrash, so they will not be featured. So basically, we're going to get into 25 through number 1 in this video. Now, picking the top 50 was very hard. There was a lot of albums that I had to leave out because I just figured, like, it was tough. Like, do I include this? Do I not include this? And I was like, just kind of going on, if I were to listen to them, which one would I grab first? So that's the reason why there was some left out. Now, I'm thinking of doing an honorable mentions video after this one, just to show you the other albums that I did want to include, but I just wanted to keep it at 50. All right, so we're going to get right into this. Coming at number 25 is Voivod with Killing Technology. Voivod, a Canadian thrash metal band. This is actually one of the first thrash metal bands to help incorporate like progressive music. So it's kind of like a prog metal thrash album, if you will. This is the This is the deluxe edition, re-released by BMG actually, and Noise Records. Imported from the United Kingdom. So this is a 3 DVD set. We have the original album remastered. Disc 2 is actually a live concert from Montreal in September of '87, and Disc 3 is actually a DVD which features a live video audio but no video, and then there's some music videos of live performances. Voivod, really great band. They have so much more thrash, but I feel like this is the one that's most important to include in this top 50. All right, coming number 24, Beneath the Remains from Sepultura. They came out with Bestial Devastation and Morbid Visions, and then Schizophrenia, and then this is the third album. Well, the first 2 albums are more like EPs. So this is the album that really actually got me into Sepultura. My experience with Sepultura was, I'm a little, I'm close to 40, so I didn't really catch the early days of it. I was more of like, they came into focus more of the Chaos AD roots period, along with going back to them through Soulfly with Max Cavalera. But this is the album, even over Arise at first, that really got me into the band Sepultura, and I was like, wow, this is really good. Because Chaos AD and Roots definitely have a different sound to me. Their Roots is obviously more nu metal leaning, but this is definitely a thrasher. And this, what I'm holding right here, is the 2-disc deluxe edition, remastered by Road Runner Records. It also has the old Road Racer before they were Road Runner. I might as well show you the back cover there. So it's the original album remastered. And the bonus tracks from 2004, and then there's Florida Sessions instrumentals. So disc 2 has more of those Florida recordings, and then some live stuff from Germany of 1989. Just an awesome album. I mean, the intro, title track, Inner Self, Stronger Than Hate, Mass Hypnosis, such a strong band, right out of Brazil. All right, and coming number 23, This is actually the first album I bought by Slayer, Seasons in the Abyss. Awesome album. The band did slow down a little bit. This was probably one of their last 5-star great albums, in my opinion. Last album to be performed with Dave Lombardo before he would come back for Christ Illusion. Yeah, like I said, the title track is amazing. War Ensemble, still a live staple. Blood Red, a cool, just a little over 2-minute song. Spirit in Black is great. Dead Skin Mask, which is actually about Ed Gein, awesome track. All right, coming number 22. This is the first album from Anthrax to feature Joey Belladonna on vocals. This is Spreading the Disease. Amazing album. Released in 1985. There you go. It's got that cool cartoon there. This is the deluxe edition, which if you saw my Anthrax ranking video, I've shown this there. So the first disc is basically just all the entire album live. Disc 2 is some live stuff, some rare stuff, and all different things like that. Awesome album. I mean, it has Madhouse on it, which is one of the greatest Anthrax albums, still a staple in their live set. All right, coming 21. This is a really, really awesome album. Violence with Eternal Nightmare. Man, this is good. I mean, just that cover alone is legendary. Also a big influence in the death metal community. So many good songs on here, like the title track, Serial Killer, Phobophobia, Calling in a Coroner, Take It As You Will, Bodies on Body, and Kill on Demand. Violence also featured in their lineup. I should know this. I don't think he is. But Rob Flynn, that would go on to form Motorhead. Doesn't look like him there. I'm pretty sure he's not on this album. Should do a little more research. Yeah, but if you haven't heard this album, this is amazing. This is also really tough to find. Luckily, this version here is a little easier to find. It's a Metal Blade remaster, 2-disc set. The second disc features a 2001 live set, live at Slim's in San Francisco. Really, really strong album. Speaking of San Francisco, I feel like this is the perfect day to make that thrash video, being that most of it came out of the Bay Area in California, just because it is like so hot today. It's crazy. I woke up, I cut the lawn, I was just dripping a sweat, got an ice cold shower, and I'm still sweating in the house with the air conditioner on and fans. It's just a really hot day. All right, up next, a modern thrash classic in my opinion. Number 20 is Nightmare Logic from Power Trip. When this came out, I remember, hearing some hype about it. I saw the cover, I wound up picking it up. I didn't realize it was thrash. I thought it was gonna be more of a death metal album. Kind of just by the cover, but looking at that Power Trip logo, I should have known it was thrash. Soul Sacrifice, Executioner's Tax, Firing Squad, such a great album. This came out in 2017, which is why I call it a modern thrash classic. Sad news though, the lead singer Riley Gale actually passed away not too long ago. So unfortunately, we will not be blessed with his genius on any more albums. Really sad, because what a promising band, and I don't know if they're going to go on without him and replace him on vocals, but if you haven't checked this out, especially if you're an older thrash metal band fan and you actually haven't heard this yet, definitely go check it out. It is a modern thrash classic. Amazing. I mean, I ranked it at number 20, so that should be saying something. All right, coming at number 19. I actually don't own this CD. I know the CD by heart. It's Agent Orange by Sodom. I do have this best of though, which has a good amount of Agent Orange tracks on here. Agent Orange itself is on here. Red and Red, which opens it up. I'm gonna have to cave in and actually just buy Agent Orange. It's just super expensive. I've never actually saw it in the wild. When I look on eBay, it's super expensive, but there is like a remastered imported version that I'm gonna have to probably just buy. I wanted the original pressing, but it's just impossible to get for a decent price. It's, I think I saw one today on eBay. It was like $60 it was going for plus shipping. I'm like, I'm not putting $60 out for one CD. So yeah, that's gonna be my number 19, Agent Orange. Sodom, amazing band out of Germany. They also had along with Creator, they're just some of the best. And Destruction, those three bands are just huge. out of Germany, which is really cool because they came out around the same time. So a lot of people think that the Bay Area was the birthplace for thrash, but you know they're all the way over Germany, like two completely different parts. We're going from the Pacific United States over to Europe. So, all right, coming to number 18. This is the debut album from Megadeth. After Dave Mustaine would leave Metallica, he would form this band and release this album, Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. This album has been remastered so many times. Dave didn't agree with the original cover, the original track listing. This is my Combat Records pressing I decided to show here. I do have the other remasters, like the Final Cut and the, I think it's like a 2004 remaster around there. What an awesome album. This is very strong. And, you know, for a debut album, of course, a lot of people that were familiar with Dave Mustaine through Metallica, this actually helped sell the album. Opens up with The Last Rites and The Love to Death. Great song. The title track, These Boots, is actually, could not be on here. It's a cover of Nancy Sinatra's These Boots. Looking Down the Cross, Rattlehead, awesome song. And Mechanics, which is basically the Four Horsemen with different lyrics. Very, very strong album. Features that original lineup of Dave Mustaine, obviously, Chris Poland on lead guitar, Gar Samuelson on drums, and obviously Dave Ellefson on bass. So the remastered ones do feature a different track listing. On here, The Mechanics is the last song, and I know on the remastered, These Boots is the last song, which I don't know why I chose to cover that. It's just a weird cover. All right, coming number 17. This is one of my favorite Metallica albums of all time, but when you categorize it with thrash, this is more of a progressive thrash sound, kind of similar to how Voivod went. The songs are longer, but this album is just 5 stars, completely amazing. And Justice for All, this is the 1988 release from Metallica, first full album to feature Jason Newsted as bass player, even though they cut his bass parts out. Either way, this is just amazing. This is probably, when someone says let's listen to the Metallica album, this is the one I always go for. I grab this just because it hasn't gotten overplayed for me like Ride the Lightning or Master of Puppets does. But you know, Blackened, which opens it, is it's like the fastest song they did, fastest opener since Battery. It's amazing. The title track, coming in at almost 10 minutes, has some you know, political stances in there. Probably the closest Metallica would ever really get to politics. Eye of the Beholder 1 was the huge hit in the first Metallica video. Short of Straw, Harvester of Sorrow, Frayed Ends of Sanity, To Live Is to Die instrumental is awesome, and Dire Z, which ends it, is just like insane. This is the deluxe edition with CD2 featuring demos and rough mixes, and CD3 live from the Justice Tour. All right, where are we at now? I feel like no, I didn't. Number 16, Nuclear Assault, Handle with Care. As I mentioned in the first video, from the first 50 through 26, I had Game Over there, Dan Lilker's new band, after he would, you know, be, I think he was fired from Anthrax, or you know, they replaced him with Frank Bello. But anyway, Handle with Care to me is an overall stronger album. The band is more fully formed at this point. Yeah, I just think it's awesome. New song which opens at Critical Mass, Surgery, Funky Noise, F Sharp, Mother's Day, Trail of Tears. Such a good album. This is also a remastered version from Century Media. Put a little collage there of the band, which features 6 live tracks from the Hammersmith Odeon. And they also released a live album. I think I have it right here. From the live Hammersmith Odeon. So this is the entire set. So there's 6 songs that are featured from this, and then there's the original full concert there. Excuse me. All right, coming number 15, the follow-up to Rain of Blood from Slayer, South of Heaven. I mean, how do you follow up Raining Blood? I mean, it's just amazing. The title track, which opens, it's got a slow, demonic groove to it. Silent Scream, they pick up the speed, along with Live Undead, Behind the Crooked Cross, Mandatory Suicide, still a live song they play all the time. Cleanse the Soul, Dissident Aggressor, oof, what a great song. And Spill the Blood, what ends it. Super, super strong album. See the guys there, young and hungry for more. He could carry with his hair, clean shaven. Super strong album, of course, produced by Rick Rubin for his American Records. Coming number 14. This is actually the first album I bought by this band, The Years of Decay from Overkill. When this came out, not when it came out, when I first saw this, I knew of Overkill, but I wasn't that familiar with them, and I saw the cover, and I was like, I'm buying it. Amazing. Time to Kill, which opens it, super strong, coming in like over 6 minutes. What a great thrash opener. Right into Elimination, super heavy song, strong. They still play it live to this day. Overkill's an amazing live band. If you haven't seen them, see them live. The people I've met at the shows have seen Overkill back from the 80s and say they still do it. Like, they haven't missed a beat. Still doing the same live shows. Playing with Spiders in the Skulls Crusher is one of my favorite songs on this, along with Evil Never Dies, which is great. This was actually produced by Terry Date, who would go on and produce Pantera's stuff. This is a 1989 release from Overkill. All right, coming number 13, probably their most famous album, Suicidal Tendencies, with How Will I Laugh Tomorrow When I Can't Even Smile Today. Features the title track, which is one of my favorite songs of all time, one of my favorite thrash songs, and my favorite suicidal song, obviously. So with this album, they kind of branched away a little more from the hardcore punk that they came out with to this, just incorporating more thrash. You also get the punk in here, but just some more thrash. This is the 1988 release, and these guys are up there with thrash. I mean, they were on MTV. They had the video for How Will I Laugh Tomorrow was all over it. But there's some other great tracks on here, like Trip of the Brain, which opens it, Suicycomania, Surf and Slam, One Too Many Times. And you can see there the way the guys are dressed with the flipped up hats. That's some of that late 80s, cool dude, surfer dude, thrasher dude look. All right, coming in at number 12, Annihilator with Alice in Hell. The title track itself deserves a spot on here just because of how amazing it is. Awesome song. Crystal Ann, which opens it. Wicked Mystic is great. Burns Like a Buzzsaw Blade. Just an amazing album. And this is a band that's not that well known, I feel, because of the music they made is just so big. I feel like they should be mentioned in the same breath as Testament and Overkill. Very, very overlooked band. And what's cool about this album is this is one of those 2 from the Vault remasters that Roadrunner did in the late 90s. Early 2003. And it also features what year did that come out? 1990, the follow-up album, Never Neverland. So Alice in Hell was actually released in 1989. This was the follow-up, but I'm not including this in my top 50, Never Neverland. That's actually the original cover of this, to hold both of them. But I like to display this just because Alice in Hell is one of my favorite thrash albums and just an amazing metal album in general. So I like to show that off. All right, coming number 11. Straight from Germany, Pleasure to Kill from Creator. This is the remastered edition in Digipack. Man, this is their sophomore album, in my opinion, probably their strongest. I mean, they just came out the gates, Pleasure to Kill was correct. Clear a Kill in Your Ears. Fire of the Damned, which opens it straight into Ripping Corpse. This is like ripping you're melting your face off with hardcore thrash. Just an amazing song. Death is Your Savior, Pleasure to Kill, the title track. Ride of Violence, The Pestilence, Carrion, Command of the Blade, and Under the Guillotines, which ends it. What a strong album from Creator. Like I said, they did a lot of really good albums, and especially in the early days. The first couple albums are perfect, but I don't think they ever got better than this album here. This is my top Creator album. All right, now we're down to the top 10. Everyone's waiting for this. Coming number 10, again out of Brazil, Sepultura with Arise. This was their thrash masterpiece. I mean, this album this was the top for them. They never did any better than this. The title track, which opens it, Dead Embryonic Cells, was actually featured on MTV, mostly during Headbangers Ball, Late Night, and even Beavis and Butthead. Desperate Cry, Murder, Subtraction, Altered State, what an awesome song. Under Siege, Meaningless Movements, Infective Voice, and then this one actually features because it's a remaster, the Orgasmatron, the Motorhead cover there. And there is a couple, what is that? CIO Criminals in Uniform is a live track. There you see the guys there. Max looking really cool there. Early Max. Such a cool album. I mean, just that cover art. I don't know really what it is. It looks like, kind of reminds me of like a character from the Zelda, and then Nintendo 64 Zelda games, Ocarina of Time or whatever. But just a strong album. Super cool. And to hear a band like this, a thrash metal band with such harsh vocals on MTV at the time, showed you how big of an impact thrash had in the late 80s and early 90s. This is a 1991 release. All right, coming at number 9 is my favorite album from Testament, The New Order. I think this is just perfect. I mean, the cover is just amazing. It screams thrash. It's up there along with the iconic covers of, you know, Peace Sells or Ride Lightning and all that. Eerie Inhabitants, the title track, one of my favorite songs. Trial by Fire is great. Into the Pit, probably the best song off this album. Also features a cover of Aerosmith's Nobody's Fault, which was originally on Aerosmith Rocks. Megaforce Records again, produced by Johnny and Marcia Zazula. 1988 release. Chuck Billy, and Alex Skolnick were never stronger, in my opinion, on this album. Chuck Berry. All right, coming at number 8. This is a sophomore album from Slayer, Hell Awaits. You know, between this, between Show No Mercy and Hell Awaits, they did release Haunting the Chapel, which in my opinion is the greatest EP of all time, and Live Undead. So we had a little EP and live release between the two albums. But this, I mean, the title track, just the long intro and the guitars kicking in. Awesome. Kill Again, another like super fast melt your face off song. At Dawn They Sleep, Praise of Death, Necrophiliac. Just the way Tom screams Necrophiliac is just awesome. Crypts of Eternity, and of course Hardening of the Arteries. Look at that cover, man. That is not scary. Awesome album. Released in 1985 for Metal Blade Records. After this, Slayer would go on to American Records and Rick Rubin. Sorry, I was thinking something. I thought I'd put something out over there. All right, come at number 7. Thrash staple, Bonded by Blood, Exodus. What an amazing album. Exodus debut album featuring Paul Baloff on vocals. This is actually a remaster, Metal Frontier Archive Collection 2021. You know, this cover for some reason was banned and controversial. I don't really see why. I don't see the big deal behind it. Okay, well, there's two angels attached to each other. You know, you get like the devil and the good angel. I don't know. The angel and the devil, I guess. Paul Baloff, Gary Holt. Strong band here, fresh off the departure of Kirk Hammett to go to Metallica. Bonded by Blood, the song itself, is such a mosh classic. Such a good track. Never known as a lesson of violence. Speaking of moshing. So yeah, the original, or not the original, but the combat pressing that's most readily available features that cover of looks like a shot of like fans in a crowd, but it's all in red and black. I hate that cover, so I had to own this because I need that iconic cover. All right, cover number 6, Anthrax is best. Among the Living. There you see you got the guy from Poltergeist 2 on the cover there. Everyone's bowing their heads. It's kind of a message being sent there. Among the living, you never know who's among the living, who's among us, trying to, you know, scheme us and get something out of us, take advantage of us. But the title track opens it up. Caught in the Mosh, another great moshing song, obviously. I Am the Law's amazing. Nice Fucking Life, Skeleton in the Closet, Indians, what a strong song. I love Indians. One World, ADI, Into Horror of It All, and Imitation of Life, which ends it. Executively produced by Johnny Zazula, who helped Anthrax, you know, set the scene. Great New York thrash metal here from 1987. Such a strong album. Awesome stuff. Perfect album. All right, now we're down to the top 5. Coming number 5 from Megadeth, Peace Sells, But Who's Buying? Obviously features the title track, Wake Up Dead, The Conjuring, Devil's Island, Good Morning, and the Black Friday. That is such a strong song. It's probably my favorite song off the album, I'd say. Bad Omen. Cover, I Ain't Superstitious does not belong in this album. I don't know why he did it again. I don't know what some of the covers Dave had in mind. And then My Last Words, which ends it. This is the last album to... No, it's not. I'm sorry. I was going to say something, but I'm wrong. So this is a Combat pressing along with Capitol original pressing CD. I'm not, like everyone else, they say that the remasters of the Megadeth albums aren't that good. And once I bought them all and I went back to listen to these, I realized that these do sound better. The volume's obviously not as loud, but definitely better. Look at that album cover there, just iconic. Featuring Vic Rattlehead. That looks like at World's End. 1986 release. This was the answer to Master of Puppets. It's Megadeth's answer, and I tell you what, it holds up. It's a very strong album. Coming number 4. Ride the Lightning from Metallica. 5-star album. Awesome. This is their sophomore release. This is that new remastered small kind of digi-sleeves, like a perfect square. There's a picture of the band there, Cliff. Cool picture. I mean, what can I say what hasn't been said about this album? Just absolutely amazing. This, for years, was my favorite Metallica album. I do prefer this. If personally, in the thrash sense, I'm not going to go there because I'm going to, obviously show something else later. In a thrash sense, I wouldn't say this is Metallica's best album, but it's definitely top 2. Just an amazing album. Absolutely amazing. Their sophomore release, Fight Fire with Fire, Ride the Lightning, and For Whom the Bell Tolls, along with Creeping Death. They're still playing live to this day. Fade to Black was still on the radio today. It's a hit song off of here. Trapped Under Ice, Escape kind of slows it down before they go into Creeping Death, and the Call of the Cthulhu, their first instrumental and my favorite instrumental from Metallica. Such a strong album, so iconic. I mean, I could just stare at that cover art. It's just awesome. Love it. All right, cover number 3. These top 3 were so tough, because I was they all deserve to be number 1, but I had to rank them. Cover number 3, Rust in Peace from Megadeth. 1990 release. This was the answer to And Justice for All, because Dave Mustaine kind of held a grudge against Metallica, and he kind of, compared his albums. This is just amazing. I mean, now we have Nick Menza on drums and Marty Friedman on guitar, who would actually end up leaving the band after Risk and went to Japan. He's living in Japan right now, but he's still an amazing guitarist. He's the greatest guitarist Megadeth ever had. Better than Dave. He's awesome. The title track, which opens it, such a great intro. I mean, it's iconic. Iconic song. Music video was all over MTV. Hangar 18. I Will Die on This Hill. Greatest Megadeth song of all time. The soloing through it, the trading solos with Dave Mustaine and Marty Friedman is just insane. Take No Prisoners, Take No Shit. 5 Magics, Poison Was the Cure, Lucretia, Tornado of Souls, another thrasher, Dawn Patrol, and then it ends with Rust in Peace, Polaris, another super strong song. Awesome cover there. You got the alien in there. I guess, what's that, the FBI or CIA in the back, whoever they're supposed to be. And you have Vic Rattlehead with that green, whatever that's supposed to be. You got the nuclear waste symbol on the back. Again, this is the original Capitol Combat pressing on CD. Oh man, so good. I'm gonna put this on after this video. I gotta hear it again. All right, coming number 2. This might surprise you because a lot of people rank this at number 1 of greatest thrash metal of all time, but I didn't. It's Master of Puppets by Metallica. I mean, it's perfect. It's a perfect album. Battery, which opens it, super fast, super great. The title track is iconic. Everyone that picks up a guitar wants to learn that song. The Thing That Should Not Be slows it down a little bit into Welcome Home Sanitarium. Slows down a little more. Then they pick up with huge speed on the second side with Disposable Heroes, Leper Messiah, their second instrumental, Orion, which is amazing. And, my friend Stu, he plays in the band Orion, which is a Metallica tribute band in the Philadelphia, New Jersey area. If you ever get a chance to check out that band and you have it, check them out. It's the closest you'll ever get to Metallica. I mean, they don't dress up to try to look like Metallica. They don't, want to act like Metallica. They just play the songs and they're perfect. They just play the songs perfectly, and it's an amazing show. So if you ever get the chance to see them, guys, I'd highly recommend it. Damage Incorporated, which ends it. It's super fast song, super great. Again, if you saw my Metallica video, my complete Metallica CD collection, this is the 3-disc remaster. Second disc with riffs, demos, rough mixes, and interviews, including an interview with Cliff, 19 minutes long. And CD 3 is live from the Damage Inc. tour in 1986. Awesome album. Look at the guys there. Last album, unfortunately, to feature Cliff. Man, who would have known what would have been if Cliff would have stayed alive, you know? Not would have stayed alive, but if he wasn't, unfortunately, killed in that bus crash. All right, time to get down to number 1. I'm sure a lot of you have figured it out by, process of elimination. For me, this is the perfect thrash album. It is a perfect album, one of the greatest metal albums of all time, and it's this band's greatest album. Rain and Blood by Slayer. Perfection. Literally clocks in an entire 10 song disc. Actually clocks in less than 30 minutes, and it's perfect from beginning to end. Angel Death, which opens it with that blood-curdling scream from Tom Araya. Piece by Piece, Necrophobic, Altar of Sacrifice, and then Jesus Saves. Oof, so good. Gives me chills. Criminally Insane, Reborn, Epidemic, Postmortem, and of course Raining Blood, which ends it in that breakdown. So good. I mean, look at the guys there. They got their Stella Artois. Man, what a perfect album. Perfect thrash album for me. This is it. If you haven't heard this album for some reason, or you somehow do not own it, go out and get it right now. I mean, I know people, I have friends that don't like Slayer, but they love some of the songs off here. They probably didn't listen to everything, but they like this album. Number 1, Rain in Blood, Slayer. Perfect thrash album, in my opinion. All right, everyone. If you made it to the end, I appreciate you watching, and if for some reason you didn't watch the first video, 50 through 26, I suggest going back and watching it, because you'll see the other 25 albums that were not featured here in the top 50. And I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to do a follow-up video to this featuring my honorable mentions. I'm sure a lot of people are saying, hey, you didn't include this or you didn't include that. But remember, this is my opinion. There's a reason I didn't include it. And, if you watch this honorable mention video, I'll explain why I didn't include it. And you'll see that I actually wanted to, but I wanted to narrow it down to 50. And obviously, if you watch this video, you can see that I'm a fan of the classic thrash, since I didn't really feature too many newer bands except for like Death Hammer and Power Trip. Who else did I feature? Municipal Waste. And there's a great thrash scene still out there now. So thrash is still alive and it's still kicking, but nothing, in my opinion, beats the heyday of the late 80s thrash. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next video. Take care.